Hello and welcome everybody who tuned in. Steve joining us from SparkDex. Steve, welcome. Would you care to introduce yourself a bit?
Thank you. My name is Steve. I'm the one of the co-founders of SparkDex and also the lead developer on SparkDex. So I'm also working for different other protocols as advisor and build with some large partners already some other DeFi suites on different chains.
All right, so broad experience and technical expertise. So for the Q&A, maybe some people will have more technical questions for you as well. Before we dive into SparkDex and what it is, just a couple of quick updates. So as most of you will know, Flare FTSO V2 went live on the 16th of September. So that's another great push. And then next to that, Kinetic launched their wrapped ETH market. Currently, I think you can only supply, but soon I hope we can also borrow. Then staking is currently working or open on Sceptre. As you know, we have 2 periods, an open and a sort of like staking paused period at the moment. Something we hope to change in the future. I will say something about it later. And then our rewards tab got quite a good upgrade or update, I think, because now you can actually see all the rewards streaming into Sceptre. All right, that's it for the quick update. Steve, everybody's here, I think, to hear more about SparkDex. So can you tell us something about SparkDex, some overview, and what it is, what makes it special, these kind of things?
Sure, let me start with SparkDex. So we are building a DeFi hub. We call this DeFi hub because we offering multiple different products in one interface. It's normal AMM DEX like Uni V3 and V2. Then we have normal spot trading swaps. Soon we will introduce also limit orders for swaps. On top of this, there will be perpetual futures. The perps coming with the FTSO V2 integration. We are working actually on the last, let's say, iron out, and then we will deploy it soon. We will, I think, one of the first protocols which have integrated the FTSO V2 oracles, so which are live signs, I think, three weeks now. On top of this, we are working on an AI agent, which will, with prompts, help you to add liquidity, open trades, swap, and so on, and a knowledge agent based on AI. After this, we will probably launch the token of SparkDex, but I'm not sure about the plans when this will happen and how the tokenomics will be at the end. But we try to offer many things in one interface. Hopefully Stargate figure out and give us now the widget that we can integrate also the bridge widget inside SparkDex. So the user don't need to leave the interface to make interactions. So generally is a spot and a perpetual DEX in one. So we're farming. Also, maybe we will introduce prediction markets, standard prediction markets, not perpetual prediction markets. So let's see how this will evolve.
All right, yeah, that sounds a little bit more extensive than the general idea of a DEX. So, what was the reason that you wanted to create a multiple in one, so to speak?
My background is coming from let's say Web 2 and mostly from the gambling business, so casinos and sport betting. So there it's common that you have only one interface for a casino, where also different products like casino and slot machines and sport betting is integrated. So even when there are external providers, you are bundling all in one interface where you have one login. one wallet, and then you can gamble everything you want, because it's nonsense to send out your user for different products. Let's say we are focused on perpetuals, but then somebody wants to make a normal swap. I need to send this guy out to Uniswap, for example, which makes no sense because he's not coming back. From the marketing perspective, it's the best to have everything in one suite, and then you can enrich from there. The DeFi Hub is not only that we integrate our own products, we can also integrate different other partners like LMs and so on. So also lending markets like Kinetic can be integrated on our DeFi Hub. So user don't need to go to Kinetic to make the lending protocol, lending process or borrowing process.
Yeah, I guess you could even integrate the staking.
Yes, correct.
All right, yeah, because that's something that that we did do with Kinetic, so maybe that's something we should talk about at some point.
Yes, we can talk about it. The DeFi Hub is not only for the Kinetic, not only for SparkDex products. It can be, utilize and integrate all in this ecosystem working components. So.
Yeah, it seems that you're like really trying to ensure that the user doesn't have to search around for all the functionality that they need in various apps, but that they can just do everything in one place.
First of this, and secondly, the UX UI needs to be, it's much better then. So because each time a user goes, let's say, to Sceptre, he needs to connect his wallet, and then we have imposer websites, fraud websites. It's increased the risk of that a user fall victim of of a fraud or of a scam. So having everything in one suite is helping everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, not every DeFi user is aware of different different products in this chain. So let's say that he's aware of SparkDex, but he's not aware of Sceptre, that he can stake his Flare token, for example.
Yeah. Okay. So if we would go more into the direction of the general discussion, how do you see SparkDex in the future of Flare? What roles do you see for yourself? How do you think you can help Flare become bigger, and so on?
First of all, we want to be the largest DEX on Flare. So that's the main target, to be the warehouse, the Amazon marketplace of Flare. So this is the main target. Secondly, do the experience we have, let's say, with our partner QuickSwap, which is the leading DEX on Polygon and all Polygon-related chains. We can handle this and we can do this. So we can add multiple more functions like gambling, gaming, not only DEX. We call it SparkDex, but in the end, it's not only a DEX. The target is not only to be a normal DEX. So also with our commits and experience we're offering to the Flare team and saying, look guys, when we go this direction, we can increase the usage of the Oracle, for example. When we go into this direction, we can have more DeFi users. So they're listening to us too. So it's a good contribution to the chain itself to be more flexible, and let's say I think we can go very fast from here. So when I remember, as we started with SparkDex, the total TVL on Flare was $3 or $4 million. Actually, then these numbers are only yet now on SparkDex. So we have already increased, I think, the TVL of Flare to 3 or 4 times from now. So it's not only our contribution, but we are going the right direction.
Definitely. And I have also experienced that they're very willing to listen, but not just listen, but they're asking like Flare is asking us, and I think other protocols, like, hey, what do you need? What else can we do to make things grow?
Yes.
And I've not always experienced that same. I don't have that same experience on all the networks that I've worked with. So that's really really a good thing.
Listening. That's good. Most of the chain don't even listen to you.
No.
I'm not only a developer, I'm also a user itself. So I'm also, large DeFi user. So I know which are the points the DeFi user or general crypto user are asking for. So when we cannot adapt to this needs or requests from the communities, so we will lose the traction of the chain.
Yeah.
But the Flare team is listening and taking the advice and going to the right direction.
I have the same understanding. Steve, one of the things that we've done on the show quite often is for the guests to give a demo of their product. Would you be able to do that? The option here exists to share a screen. So if you would have that ability, that would be awesome. Maybe supplying something to a pool or showing the perps or whichever direction you want to go.
Yeah, let me do this. So where can I present? Let me say slides share screen. I hope it will work. So
yeah, then it shows your entire screen with all your secret passwords.
Yeah. Okay. So SparkDex AI. So
yeah.
Hopefully it's loading without a bug.
Yeah.
So okay. So I'm already connected. So now we have this dual interface between V3.0 and V3.1. To explain this, we deployed 4 days ago. We enabled the DEX V3.1, which is normally V3 DEX of Uniswap with additional method to able to claim the flat drops and delegate the drop flare in the pools, and also able to claim the clear pool rewards for CUSDX. So actually it's looking like this. So all the LPs which have an active position on the normal V3.0 can now remove and migrate to V3.01, which we already have integrated the ALM of Ichi. So you can select, let's say, USDCE, and then you can single-side deposit, let's say, into the USDCE, CUSDX pool.
Yeah.
And the actual APRs are displayed. If you go to view details, you will be redirected to the documentation of Ichi. When we go to dual-sided, actually, when I select, I have no money on this account. That's the bad one. So let me transfer in the background to this.
Sure.
So when I select roughly USDCE, for example, well, let's say USDC, the E is only for bridge versions, the naming. So actually, you will see that this pool is boosted on this feed here. There's a tag. Generally, I would recommend to press simply save for the normal user which are not experienced in this liquidity providing methods. There we have the pool stats with the actual APR and the breakdowns. So the APR is displayed as 32% around is coming from Airflare rewards. The flat drop rewards will be around 20% APR. The flat staking, which is the delegation rewards, is around 8%, and the fees natively generated from this pool are actually around 15%. So we are around about 75% APRs on this pool, which is combined from multiple revenue resources of this pool itself.
Yeah.
After you can normally select how much you want to add. After, let's say, you have this pool selected, it will calculate automatically the other side, and then you can improve and add the liquidity. But let's make it much better. We're using the staked flare. Yeah. Where is it?
It was down there. Yeah.
And you selecting wrap flare. You can also select flare itself, but it's a wrapper, so you don't need it. So also we have automatic positions, which is from Steer protocol. So Steer manages for you in a wide range the liquidity for people which are not that common with manual positions on V3, because it's like an order book based constant liquidity protocol. I would recommend for newbies to use the automatic positions instead of manually.
Yeah.
And then you can deposit as well the same, select your how much S flare or wrap flare you want to add, and then you will directly deposit into the Steer protocol vault, which automatically rebalances the fees and also gets the same rewards. So, or you can use manually. So also here, the APR boosted feature is displayed as APR boosted. On S-Flare and Dropflare, maybe using a much tighter range than different other, because it's relatively stable pair. Yes, S-Flare and Dropflare is very stable. So normally you can use a very tight range for this. Let's say common should be okay. So you see also on the liquidity indicator that the liquidity is very straight in one, specific range. As S-Flare, LST, which automatically compounds the income of the rewards and adding value to the S-Flare token instead getting airdrop the flare drops.
Yeah.
Explained correctly, I hope.
Yeah. It adds sort of like to this exchange rate between Flare and S-Flare. So yeah.
Also, we have V2 pools. Yes, it's a simply Uniswap V2. Yeah, it's actually don't need to say much about this. I don't think that people should use this anymore because it's not that efficient like a constant liquidity pool.
Okay, but like for the people who have no clue what it is, what the difference is, what is the difference between V2 and V3? I understand now what V3.0 and V3.1 are. That 0.1 is simply some functionality, but V2, V3. Can you give like a overview of what the differences are?
Yes, the V2 DEX, it's the normal DEX V2 from Uniswap. It is simply DEX, which is Y, X, and K is the price. It's a mathematic behind it. Simply you have both assets in the pool, which are automatically always 50-50. So 50% of the pool value is held in the token A, like here displayed, and the other one in token B. So all the liquidity is, diffused over the total bandwidth of the price range. So the DEX only utilizes the top liquidity, the other one is not utilized. It is the old version of normal AMM, but most DEXs and most LPs moving away from this V2. And V3 is the constant liquidity ones where you can select the range where you want to add the liquidity. So let's say we have typically USDC and USDT. Yes, we say we have a stable pair. So stable coin. Yes, I can select. You will see that on the constant liquidity, the liquidity will be provided in very strict range. So between the 0.98 and 1.16. Which means that the liquidity is only available between these two prices. On the V2, this will be from $0 to unlimited dollars. So the liquidity will not utilized fully. In this case, you can have the same depth in liquidity like a Uni V2 pool with, let's say, 50, 60 times the liquidity. So it's much better for you as a LP when you select in the range. Let's say you want to be much more exposed to Ethereum or let's say Flare instead of USDT. You can say that the liquidity range is more on behalf of the wrap Flare in the pool or as Flare, which is not possible on a V2. So there, the liquidity is completely exposed to all both sides. Also, if you want to sell, let's say, your asset without selling them directly. So let's say I have S-Flare and I want to sell it between, let's say, 1 cent and 2 cents. So I can set the liquidity in this range. When the price of S-Flare reaches 2 cents, all my position is now converted to USDC without I made any sell orders.
Okay, yeah.
So this is why many LPs and market makers using this. So you can, let's say, if you have a token of Sceptre, you can provide the liquidity of your Sceptre token in a specific range. When the range is hit and extended, your liquidity is out of range, but your assets are sold into the token B, let's say, without you sold and have red candles in your chart.
Yeah. So it's like a limited order, but not.
Yeah, it's like an order book DEX, but without you have ticks. To explain this, and here is much too difficult. It's the ticks and the ranges. We need much more educational podcast for this. What you can all do with console liquidity DEX. It's what I'm explaining is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
For this, I'm saying, it's much better for newbies to simply provide the liquidity in a, automatic position where the, automatic, let's say, steers provide making for this all the stuff. So much more sense, Otherwise, you need to rebalance your pool. You need to re-engage your liquidity ranges when the price of the assets change. Like you have a, let's say,
you have a lot more management to do.
Yes. Also, when you're not aware of the management, you can lose much more money because implement loss can be increased when you don't understand how this works.
Okay.
I hope you get what I want. If you are not aware of how this is working with console liquidity, your implement loss can be very high.
Yeah.
When you're not aware of this.
So for let's say 90% of the people, this is probably the way to go to use this.
Yes, with automatic positions, select strategy automatic, and then select, let's say, steer. Or if you have only one asset, let's say you have S flare, yes, then simply select Ichi and select this. They are doing the same. So on Ichi, you can simply add one asset, and then you are more exposed to S flare than to RUB flare. So the pool is mostly, I think, 80 to 90% in S flare. The liquidity range will be set more to your preferred asset you want to add. Also, we are working on a Zap function, which I hopefully introduce with an aggregator when it comes. So it means that even when you have only one asset and you want to provide dual-sided, dual-sided deposits, the Zap function will automatically swap in the direction you want your asset. So let's say you
would swap the half of your assets basically to the other asset that you don't have.
It don't need to be the half, on double-sided. If the range you select is in this way, on common.
If it's asymmetric, then according to whatever range you've got,
it will automatically swap for you the asset A to the B and deposit into your preferred liquidity range. So we are working. It's already finished, but we need the aggregator in the background for this.
Yeah.
We have this already integrated on QuickSwap. We have this already integrated on our other DEXs, but on Flare we have still missing a part, which is the swap aggregator over the whole chain, I think. But hopefully two are coming now. We introduced them to the Flare team, and hopefully they made a deal and they're coming now.
All right. Thank you for that. Is there any educational material on this available?
Generally, for the V3, yes, we have on our docs how to use, but the depth knowledge, simply using the V3 Uniswap V3 documentations and maybe YouTube videos where they explain this.
Yeah. All right.
It's it's very wide. It's not we can cover as SparkDex its own. It's this V3 stuff and the console liquidity stuff is a very deep.
You can only give an overview here. Otherwise, people will have to be like, okay, sorry, this is not a regular stream. This is a course, and this is
it will be much. It will be too much when I start explaining how V3s are working in the background technically on the smart contract side. It's it's too hard. If nobody
will fall asleep,
I would recommend simply using the automatic strategies. Otherwise, with manually, you are saving some, management fees of the LM. And also you can select your own with manual positions on expert, safe, common. But generally, newbies, greenhorns should first use automatic and then dive deeper into this rabbit hole. And with more understanding, that will be much clearer for them how to use this.
And then, of course, you start, if you do start manual, you probably don't start with everything you have, but just start with something small and see how it responds and works. And then you...
with manual, it's also cool. You can make multiple positions. So you can say, okay, I want to sell 20% of my RUB flare to 2 cents, for example.
Mhm.
And then I can say other 10% to 3 cents. So I can set up multiple positions. So when the price of, we have price actions on Flare token, for example, some of the positions will be, let's say, killed in case that the position met their target on token A or token B, and then they can move forward. So it's like I'm speaking like a market maker.
All right. Thanks for that. Yeah, you want
Let's
to
go to the perps. So yeah, actually the perps are on testnet. So
yeah, people can try it out themselves, and there's no risk yet.
yes,
or
you can simply claim mock USDC. So you have this money, gaming money, you can make trades. So you can claim mock USDC, and then you can select here USDC as a collateral, the mock USDC. So and then you can make your trades. So actually, this is utilizing FTSO V2 on Kosten, but hopefully around mid of the month in 1 week we will deploy it on mainnet with the real deployment. So where you have flat USDC as collateral.
And if I am someone who has no idea what a perp is, what would you say?
The perps are perpetual futures, so you're going into a future contract with unlimited time period. So this have no experience time, this options. So perpetual options have no experience time, so expiration time. So you can open the trade and run it until unlimited, or your collateral is empty, or you want to close a position. With perpetuals, you have also the possibility to go with a multiplier. We call this leverage trading. So I can say 40x. So when I put $1,000, my position will be worth $40,000 in this asset. So I'm borrowing money from the bank. Also, we have advanced trading features like stop loss, take profit orders, trailing stop. I don't know if everybody's aware what's trailing stop. So
Probably not.
Okay, so trailing stop, it's one of the core features of our perps are trailing stop, which is an advanced trailing feature, which we only have on some centralized exchange or normal trading platforms. There you set, let's say, okay, I want to trail my stop. So normally I have take profit and stop loss. When the position hits 10% plus, it will be killed, yes? Or stop loss, I say minus 5% kill the position. So actual the price, and then you have this when this will hit. But with trailing stop, I can say, okay, stop trailing with minus 2%. So that means when the price of the asset, let's say we opened a long trade on Ethereum with this price, $2,418, and the price goes up to 2,600. When the price dumps 2%, it will kill automatically your position. So stop the position. So you don't need to manage this for you. So you have a stop loss automatically integrated, which trades with the price of the assets up. So when in the direction you want. So when it's a short, it's trading down with you, and when you have long, it's going up with you. So you don't need to adjust always your stop loss. Why this is very important for scalp traders or large traders is because, let's say, we see large pumps and then fast directly after a dump. Yes, so let's say you're open to the position, your stop loss is here, and your trade profit was here. Yes, let's say 2,530. So the price increased within an hour, let's say 3%, and then dumps 2% down. So normally here will be stopped. The trading stop in profit, you will be stopped. Otherwise, it will be dumped forward until here, and you will be stopped here in the loss.
Yeah, you could have had some gain, but now you only have
yes.
Okay.
Yes. You was not stopped, and also you are going to the negative. So
isn't that like always like the issue with at least for me, like with crypto, it's like it's going up, it's going up, it's going down. I'm sure it will go up again, and so you're like, should I? No, and then later, so if only I had done that. So, and this option is actually to prevent that, if only.
Yes. If you open, let's say here, it's go up and then down, and you will be stopped here in a profit. Otherwise, you wait until you trigger your stop loss in the negative zone, let's say.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that demo. I think that's going to be very interesting, and we're really looking forward to seeing that live. I think we should move on to the Q&A section, unless you still have something you really want to show.
No, actually, we are the farm section. Yes, I can show. There, actually, you can see which farms, which pools are incentivized from Airflare. So it's Airflare Joule. Yes, it's one of our largest pools.
Yeah.
We have Wrapped Ethereum USDC pool, which is incentivized. Wrappflare USDC E, USDC E, CUSDX, USDT standard pool, and Sflare Wrappflare pool, which is very important for you guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the largest position we have in this DEX is Sflare, your token, because the two largest pools are containing Sflare as the token A.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and looking at those APRs, I'm wondering why they're not pressed down more by people jumping in. But
so we have also the statistics, if analytics, if somebody want to see how this looks like. So Sflare is the second largest position with 375K on liquidity and 320K in volumes. Yes, right. Yeah, so that's analytics. Actually, we are between the migration, so we have two analytics for V3, so it can confuse users. So actually, the migration happens, so user removing from V3 to V1. So
yeah, because in V3.1 they get their red flare related rewards, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
and not only with V1, we will also able to distribute the CUSDX rewards.
Okay.
This clear pool, T pool rewards, because this asset is also LSD, which also yields you Wrappflare and USDX.
So makes sense to move to 3.1.
Yes.
So we have a question from Mr. Fresh, who asks questions almost every week. Are there any plans to open new pairs with Joule? Like, for instance, Wet ETH Joule or USDT Joule or...
Let me explain about this incentivized pool Sflare and Joule. It's not from us. Kinetic Market itself is incentivizing this pool and have its own stake contracts with Steel. We only have integrated them into our interface, and they're utilizing our V3 contracts for the pools. So it's not in our hands to open a wrapped ETH and, let's say, USDT Joule pool. But you can generate your own pool. There's no limitation. Everybody can set up a pool, but I don't think that Kinetic Market will incentivize this pool.
Yeah. All right. From Joseph, when is the DEX token planned? And I guess how often will there be airdrops for early participants? You kind of hinted at that already.
I can spoil something. The token launch is planned for this quarter, so up until end of the year. Hopefully, otherwise it will be in the first quarter of 2025. And yes, for early users of the platform, there will be a airdrop. Yes. So simply use SparkDex and you will be surprised.
Do it. Exactly. Do it. Use it. There's the APRs were amazing, so I don't see any reason not to jump in. Also from Joseph, are flare emissions still based on TVL share only, or does it take into account all the concentration of liquidity?
Yeah, actually only the TVL share. This counting into account the concentration of liquidity is, mathematically very difficult. Also, it needs to be verifiable for the Flare Foundation when we provide them the list. So actually, to make this into the account, the concentration of liquidity will be so difficult that it don't make sense for us to do this. Also, let me explain this way. when you increase the concentration of the liquidity, it will help you anyways with the fee generation. So beside the airflow emission, you will get more from your own feature because you can claim your fees directly into your account.
All right, thank you. From Citizen Tim, can you describe your current relationship with Ichi and their one-sided S-Flare vault? Also, when will it be available for deposits on version 3.1? I thought it was available, or is it not available on 3.1?
It's available since today. They enabled today the integration. It took 1-2 days for them to make the integration. So actually, the relation to Ichi, we have a good relation not only for SparkDex, also for other DEX products we have on other chains. We have integrated them into your UI. They're utilizing our smart contracts, but it's their own protocol. It's automatic liquidity management, which have a yield IQ strategy, which helps user to increase the whole exposure of them to certain assets in the pools. So they're managing for you the liquidity, and the SparkDex contracts are only the base of this. And you can use the interface of SparkDex to join and you leave the positions from there.
All right, and then there's
also my understanding, S-Flare vaults are already active. I showed in the showcase there was S-Flare.
Yeah, exactly. That was also my thought, but maybe the question was asked yesterday, and you said
also, can you share any additional upcoming Yield IQ project, if any? So Yield IQ is based on Ichi strategy, so there's cannot be other Yield IQ projects beside Ichi. Ichi's own project product is called Yield IQ. So,
all right, I guess a similar project maybe, but that they might be referring to. I think we have more questions. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I kind of asked this during your demo because I saw the V's, the various versions of Uni, and I was wondering what the differences are, but you kind of explained that.
In short, yes. V2 is the standard Uniswap V2 pools, which are the old, let's say, PancakeSwap when you were 2 years ago how PancakeSwap worked, or I think still BlazeSwap is V2 too. So BlazeSwap is utilizing V2 contracts. So you can compare BlazeSwap with our V2. V3 and V3.1 are normally exactly the same in the logic, and we have only added the feature or the possibility to claim the flat drops and delegate your wrap flare in the pool. So V3 and V1 are the same logic and the same code base. Uniswap V3, constant liquidity. The only difference with 3.1 will be that we also be able to distribute the flat drops and the delegation of the token, and with them delegation rewards for the user.
Yeah. All right. I know there's more. Yep. Can you explain the perps for our users? I guess you just did that and you showed them how they could use them. Is there anything you want to add to that?
For what perpetuals are used, there are 2-3 ways to use perps, and why they're used is, firstly, if you have not that much money and you want to have more exposure to asset, so you can make a leverage trade, so leverage your position. Let's say I have only 10K, but I want to gamble like I have 40K, so I make a free and with good risk management. Secondly, user using this to hedge their spot exposure. So when I have, let's say, Bitcoin, I can open a short with 1x, and then when the asset loses value in spot, my perpetual profits are, nearly compensating these losses. So large funds are hedging with perpetuals their exposure. So, and otherwise it's gambling. Yes. So user can when you see a large dump, yes, let's say there's a war, Iran attack Israel, and there's a 5% dump on Bitcoin, and you want to gamble this short term. So it makes no sense to buy Bitcoin spot. Then mostly the traders scalping with, they're opening a very large long position, and if they lose, they lose. Otherwise, they are large profits. It's like gambling in this case. So for short-term wicks, you can use perps to have like a bet. Yes, I'm betting Bitcoin will go up, and when the Bitcoin price recovers, I had a good profit on the perpetuals. Otherwise, my culture is done. If you have, don't risking too much money, it's a good opportunity to earn money on short term. But the most and common use is for hedging positions. So if I have, let's say, large position of Flare, opening the same size of a short or a similar size of a short on a perp. So when the price of Flare going down, the position profits of the perpetual will compensate nearly everything of my losses on my spot position. That's mostly why perps are used.
All right, thank you. Having migrated to v3.1, what are the key benefits for users, and does this new version come with any improvements? Well, also already discussed that.
Let's make it short. The improvements are simply not on the logic side. It's only to able not only for flare drops or delegation, even in the future when something else comes. Let's say S Flare will have an airdrop and they're claimable. The pool can claim in behalf of the user balances, for example.
Yeah.
So we added a method which enables the pool or us in behalf of the pool to claim or interact with any other smart contracts.
All right, thank you. We've seen some teasers about SparkDex Eternal and leverage. Are the rumors true? What are you guys? Are the rumors true that you guys are launch perps? Yeah, it's true, right?
Yes, we answered this already.
You did not just make that all up and show that all for fun, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's true. It's coming. Also, the teaser for the airdrop will come too. So
yeah, cool. So, and it's going to be soon too, right? So, looking forward to that. Okay. Is there anything else you want to, spoil us with?
Short term, yeah, the perpetuals, the token launch, the airdrop, also the AI agent, which is in process. Also, we will integrate much more partners. I think we can speak about Sceptre, then kinetic market integration into the UI and bridge interfaces, fiat on-off ramps directly. Such things are coming. So
yeah. So basically, it's a list too long to name, and
yeah,
and probably endless. So long term, you probably have ideas that you're probably not yet willing to share.
Yeah, maybe also, we are working on Telegram mini apps. Maybe we will make a dedicated for Flare ecosystem mini app with a mini wallet like Bifrost and a mini game and a mini meme token, especially for the Flare ecosystem.
Sounds like we're gonna have fun.
Yes.
All right. Do we still have questions? Oh, we do. I'm new to staking, but I'm staking 500K of Flare, and it only yields 440 S Flare. At a 60K loss, can you explain?
Yeah, I can explain for you if you want. Matthew, it's not a loss because stake Flare is a LST, which is a wrapped version of a staked token. So its yields applicates more value than a normal Flare token. So 440K S Flare are the same value than 500K Flare in this position. On Flare staking, you will get, let's say, 510K Flare after the airdrop. On S Flare, you have still 404K S Flare, but the value of this S Flare are when unwrapping or unstaking 510K Flare. So it's like a wrapper, like, you have ST Ethereum, like a stake Ethereum, which is always one. It's rebase. So you get more staked token into your wallet. But the wrap versions are, adding more value into the token itself, which helps you later if you're a taxpayer One is a capital gain tax, the other one is income tax. You need to be aware of this.
True, yeah. I mean, you can stay staked and gain all those rewards without the tax office ever having to know about it.
Yes. Yeah.
until you unstake. So, yeah. Thank you. That was a good explanation. I've explained it so often that maybe people are getting annoyed at the way I explain it. So it's good to hear someone else explain it. I've added to a V3.1 USDC USDT pool. The APR is broken down into fee plus rewards. Since it's a stable coin pool, what are the rewards?
Yeah, well, SparkDex is part of the reward Flare program. It's a DeFi acceleration program of Flare. So this additional rewards are gift from the Flare Foundation to you as reward on top of the normal yields of the pool itself.
So that's probably R Flare, right?
R Flare, yes, correct. On this specific pool, USDC, USDT pool, especially you have fees from the native generation. So inside, when there are swaps, you're getting yield as fees, and on top, the Flare Foundation, as SparkDex is participant in this Flare program, you're getting Flare airdropped. Not airdrop, you can claim them after the epoch as Flare, and then you can sell, convert what you want to make with this Flare.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any more questions? Oh, that's all. All right. In that case, Steve, I really want to thank you for joining us on the show and for giving us a very extensive demo of the current functionality available in the SparkDex app. And we look forward to seeing all that new functionality become available on mainnet. Do you have any I won't say final words, but do you still have something to say to our users, to our listeners?
No, I thank you for the time. I'm happy. Also, when you have questions, you can come to the Telegram of SparkDex or Discord and dump your questions. I'm mostly online and can answer them. So
perfect.
And
Let's do that.
Follow us on Twitter and on Telegram, and don't miss any news about new rewards and else. Also, the best place for your Flare is on Sceptre, that they handle for you guys all this complicated stuff like Flare drops, delegation, and that. So
yeah, actually, I was reading on the Flare channel a sad story of someone who had missed their Flare drop because they had staked on the P chain, but they had forgotten that they needed to restake after their staking period or something ran out. So they didn't have the Flare staked at the moment of the snapshots. And I wanted to write something there, but I felt that it was spamming the Flare channel. So anyway. Don't miss any of those.
Yes, if you simply going for automatic or providers like Sceptre, go there and then deposit your Flare there and let this guys manage for you, because it's not always easy for everyone to follow the news and also especially I had a friend, which was a very sad story. He had this, I think his Matic with one of the largest validators, but then this pole migration, something was happening there, and this guy's in coma because he had a car accident. So, and then he will wake up, let's say, hopefully soon, and then besides his health issues, he will also have, I think, money issues after this. So, normally, the manager for you helps you to keep track on this type of stuff.
Yeah, that is true. All right. So I hope we won't have to be sad. Thank you all for watching. Thanks again, Steve, for joining us, and we will see you all hopefully at the next episode.
Thank you.
Cheers.